Why VRchat is the worst. Second Life used to be the VRchat of like 2012. Let's watch.
So if you don't know what VRchat is, I'm guessing you've known the touch of a physical breathing human that cares.
I mean, do my parents count? I gave them a hug on Christmas. Does that count?
For you, and you're a respectable contributing person to society with a normal status with mental health, and people love to be around. You have a future that looks bright and warm. Right, so if we're talking about the average VRchat player, I want you to take all of what I just said, throw it out the window, flip the table, and your expectations for what a decent human being is. Make sure to call your doctor for an express order of Prozac, because this is going to be a ride you'd have wished you forgot. Or an ego boost for you narcissists out there, because who would have thought a game about socializing with people around the world through the power of virtual reality would cause so many problems? Probably worse than the phase where femboys were shoving cold beverages up their anus.
Excuse me? Femboys were shoving cold beverages up their butts. I didn't know about that, but sure.
Actually was a trend, and I'm unfortunate enough to know about it. I've not looked at a
know
monster cam the same way ever since. But it's better than the raccoon anus copy pasta. How many raccoons can you fit up your asshole?
None? I'd hope.
Do you want to play a competitive match over it? But as a disclaimer, not all VRchat players are as worse as Reddit or Discord mods, in a way you can't smell them from around the corner, and most people do not brag they are a VRchat player, meaning they're among the population and we just don't know it. But as a disclaimer, not all VRchat players are bad. It's just the small majority.
Turn it off! Oh my god, they're doing...
Which is an oxymoron now that I think about it. But some of the VRchat players do generally just get on the game to have fun and socialise and make new friends. And that's it. But the other activities that occur in the game, which I wish was just a small percentage of the population, and after hearing what I have to say, might make you want to waterboard yourself with alcohol tonight.
Where's the money, Lebowski? You want that money, Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Which is a majority of what VRchat players do whilst playing the game anyway. Or if you even think for an atom of a second that the problems I present about this game sounds like your cup of stagnant piss, stop watching the video, check yourself into Guantanamo Bay, and ensure no internet service provider will ever provide any access close to the World Wide Web to you ever again. But once again, for the final time, not all VRchat players are like this. And if your friend confesses they play VRchat, you don't have to treat them like a pile of liquid dog feces in the middle of summer. If you know, you know. Because the worst thing they've ever done is probably wear an avatar posing as the opposite gender to experiment, I guess.
And then maybe they, you know, get really interested. Yeah, I've heard of that.
And harass the many people that go to public lobbies and openly show their affection of one another when there are kids in the lobby. And I'm not just talking about a kiss on the cheek.
Your little pussy belongs to me. And you're gonna learn to do what I fucking tell you to.
So in reality, your friends are not that bad. Just check what they're doing in VRchat, I guess. But if you generally don't know what VRchat is, it launched back in January of 2014 and initially was available on Steam, but you can only fully experience the game with a VR headset.
Oh my god, they had Rubik in there! Oh my god.
If not, you'd be made fun of by the people that spent $1,000+ on VR headsets and full body tracking. But it was initially designed to be a social environment where you communicate with people around the world, play little mini games, have fun, make friends, and probably make your own worlds and avatars. Oh, how we strayed from the path from the...
This was what Bowberry was before Bowberry was a thing.
Original design. But that is the original premise of what the game was meant to be. But back in 2014, the game was not an instant success like it is now. Because once again, you needed a VR headset to get the full experience, and this was before the VR craze where every gaming company was making their own VR game. But VRchat, when it initially launched, there wasn't very much to do. There were a few minigames and a few worlds you could go to, but the main point is you just talk to people. I guarantee people with social anxiety just vomited in their mouth thinking about that. But VRchat was a community-run game. The worlds were created by players, and without the players you had no worlds. But that was just VRchat in its infancy, not even 1% of its power, because as the years went on and the game got bigger and bigger, it got a whole lot worse, and would be a breeding ground for degenerates and borderline illegal activities.
Chat, look away!
but I'll talk more about that later. VRchat was still an itty-bitty spam cell compared to what it would be. Around the 2014 to 2016 period, there wasn't really much to do in the game. It had a loyal player base that just loved talking to each other, but nothing to spread its legs and entice more people to play it. But in early 2016, the HTC Vive launched, which was the first good quality headset. I'm sorry all the original Oculus users out there. But mine's lasted about 5 years. It's almost dead. And with the launch of this new headset came a bunch of new...
That's a lot of money though. Even with launching something that's relatively mainstream, it's still really expensive. You can buy a cheaper headset now because it's so mainstream compared to like 10 years ago.
New games as well. Admittedly, all of them were a bit staggered. In 2016 you had Job Simulator, which was pretty fun. In 2017 you had Pavlov, which if you're a gun enthusiast you'd probably love, but if you're not, you'd probably fail to operate even a hand grenade. I would know.
Drop this, mate. Hey, permission to shoot those two guys on the roof. Permission to shoot those.
No!
And then in 2018 you had the launch of Beat Saber, which is probably the game everyone bought a headset for, just so they could live out their primal instincts of wanting to be a Jedi slashing shit. But when you wanted to take a break from these games and you still wanted to be in VR, what would you do? You'd play VRchat, so you could speak to other people that have put themselves into poverty from just buying this headset. And it was around this time that VRchat started to see more people playing it, and as a result, content creators. I myself liked watching Chips play this game because he and his group was pretty funny.
So when am I getting some dicking?
Whoa.
I think now they do VRchat roleplays.
You wanna know who was around before VRchat, like with these content creators? Esteban Winsmore. Only the real ones know about Esteban Winsmore. God, man, he was so funny.
Something I haven't checked in a while. But looking back during the 2018 period, it was weird how obsessed I was with watching VRchat streamers.
Is this what you do now, Meech? Some fucking weird age play shit?
Weird age play shit. We're not fucking each other. You're the fucking weird one out of the two of us. You fucking freak.
Mainly just Chips and Nuts and anyone within their circle. But seeing all these content creators create content on VRchat and have fun based on the encounters and the people they met, it made a lot of other people want VR headsets as well, just to play.
I kind of want to do VRchat on stream, but I'm scared of like someone saying a slur and then getting me banned on stream. Yeah, if I go to a public lobby, I feel like I'd get banned. Understandable. It's sad because I was like, I want to interact with like people. You don't go to public lobbies? I know, but I don't have any friends, so what do I do? Yeah, like what do I do?
Play VRchat. I was one of them that made that mistake, and before that I would have considered myself normal, until VRchat opened its anus and swallowed me whole and in my naivety, milked me of any purity I'd left.
You're more than welcome to join.
The only reason I'm adding you is so I can bully you more.
Okay, I'll accept.
Yes, I'm a victim of VRchat, but we'll talk about that later. It was also around the 2018 period where the Ugandan Knuckles meme started.
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
Do you know the way?
You have to have Ebola to know the
Ebola.
I know people in the 18 to 28 age range think the memes like Skibbity Toilet, Ohio, Riz, Sussy, which saying out loud sounds like hieroglyphics, but majority of people within that age range think those memes are absolute nonsense, but the memes we had was Ugandan Knuckles, where a little Sonic character would spit on women, sort of like recent years. But we also had MLG montages, which
spitting on women,
you can't even say they were shit. They were like the godfather of memes. And let's not forget who touched my spaghetti.
Somebody touch
my spaghetti!
Take
God,
me
that
back.
meme was so
but with
old.
the popularity of Ugandan Knuckles taking over every corner of the internet back in 2018, people started watching more VRchat content. But this trend also increased the number of people streaming and making content in VRchat. This was before VRchat TikTok was a thing.
Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
But this included OG content creators like Drumsy, Ladle, Rafflegator, Lolathon, and more. Most of them have descended into being alcoholics, but who wouldn't when you probably found out your VRchat girlfriend wasn't actually a mute IRL, just a 40-year-old guy wearing adult diapers with more cottage cheese than a cheese factory around their cock. That wasn't based
Jesus, dude, what?
Based on a personal event, by the way. But with the popularity of VRchat increasing, the community got hard at work making new worlds and avatars, which would bring a lot of benefits and inconveniences. Oh, your friend just got a new avatar that goes over the poly limit? That's fine for the first few seconds, till you start hearing your PC reading its own obituary in the form of all 4 of your case fans and GPU fans spinning at their max RPM.
When I do 3D tracking testing with Vardo and virtual motion capture and Steam VR running, my PC does chug a little bit. Not too bad, but I can hear it like turning up the turbo thrusters.
And this problem got worse till people actually started making avatars that could not only crash
Just
you,
a little
but
bit, not
brick
too
your
bad.
VR headset in the process, and sometimes your PC. But there were a lot of meme avatars created around that time that utilised the 3D space to its advantage. But it also led to the eventual creation of avatars that could get naked, which opened Agatha's gates to the degeneracy that would come. However, with the creation of new avatars and worlds, it brought about the involvement of inclusivity.
You don't want to know one thing I can't stand about VRchat is that the girl models all look the fucking same. There is zero uniqueness. They just template each other 90% of the time. I'm not talking about this in particular, but there's like a certain, like this right here, they all look the same.
Inclusivity. You could get avatars that assisted people
I
with
don't know
sign
why.
language, so if you were actually mute or deaf, you could actually communicate. There were worlds for groups where people could share their interests, like the fairy worlds, where as soon as you join, you'd probably get harassed, or be a part of the 6th intentional crash within that hour.
Excuse me?
I think fairies were attacked most during this period, but towards the beginning of 2019, the hype kind of died down a little, but you still had regulars playing the game, and the advancement in avatars and worlds being made.
Yeah.
But the next major blow up for VRchat was in early 2020, where everyone was inside because of the COVID pandemic. Everyone thought it was just for 2 weeks, but then the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into eventual years. And things got pretty lonely. You couldn't see your friends, you couldn't do much outside because everything was either closed or restricted, and online schooling was about as useful as Braille Playboy. Like, seriously.
I remember I was just getting into like VRchat and like learning about it and also learning about VTubers. Again, I never had a headset or anything, but I know what VRchat was. There was an insane amount of algorithm pushing for VRchat content for some reason, and I didn't really click on it that much or that often.
Were they supposed to be like attracted to how deep the crevices of the page were? But there was one place where you could socialize and sort of visually see people. Can you guess what it was? If your guess was Epstein Island, go in the corner and ram your toenail into the nearest toothpick. No, it was VRchat, and since the last time people got on it, it was a whole lot different. There was now full body tracking supplied by Vive. So if you were rich or just looking to impress people, just by your now functioning
they were
legs,
expensive.
I guess you could
Still
do
are.
that.
My God, I can walk. It's a miracle.
But most people just sat down with them anyway. There was a club scene where you could find the smallest reason, and I mean the microscopic of reason, to crack open a bottle of spirits and drink your sorrows away, whilst being surrounded by people doing the same. And in these clubs, you could also see people dancing, having the time of their lives, with the benefit of full body.
Again, they both look the same. I don't know why. Just these are all the typical like hot, sexy cat girl, man.
Tracking. But what's that over there? Somebody getting a lap dance?
Jesus!
Yes, lap dances were a thing in these club worlds, and they were accessible to just about anyone. But don't worry.
In Second Life, I remember Esteban Winsmore made a video of going into a strip club where they paid you IRL money to dance as your avatar. And you could get kicked out if you harassed those women that were doing strip dances. Not in VR, in Second Life. It was so funny. Second Life was definitely something before VRchat was a thing, and it was a lot more wild.
There was a warning when you joined that if you was not the age of 18 or over, you could not proceed, which could be easily swatted away with a click of the accept button.
I mean, it's like a corn website asking if you're 18.
Wow, that's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading them.
But these lap dances were a part of the existing and rising NSFW part of VRchat. But I guess some of them were kind of impressive. to the point where people installed
Yeah, that
poles
was
in their rooms
impressive.
just so they could do that. And you had e-boys foaming at the mouth like they had fucking rabies. But why are there private rooms in these worlds? Obviously so people could change their avatars in private. God, women need their privacy. But more about that problem later. But apart from clubs, we also saw Twitch streamers and YouTubers return, with one of the best moments, and a clip I absolutely love, being from XQC.
The shoes. The big whale at the back. Big whale.
No.
Unfathomably based.
I do not choose you! Get the fuck off the stage!
And they put on full display how VRchat has changed and developed from 2018
That's so
to now
fucking funny,
2020.
Cole
So more people
Snorlax.
bought VR headsets and installed VRchat. More avatars, wilds, minigames, and memes grace the community. You could now watch full movies and YouTube videos with your
Holy.
friends in movie worlds. You could play Town of Salem and even D&D in the game. Virtual dating became somewhat normal now, and you could now also show your friends your virtual genitals through the power of community-made avatars. But
Excuse me? What?
they were still in development.
What?
What?
I can put it in my face.
Why do you have it?
Yeah, you're a loser, that's why.
It would get
I'm the loser when you have a. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
much, much worse. But what a time to be alive it was. And I wasn't immune from it.
I'm the degenerate.
How are you doing?
Dude, I wasn't expecting actually meeting someone famous.
Bro, royalty, you got titties, bro. You got some nice. You got some nice titties, bro. You got some.
Holy!
Yes, that's me, and before you say anything, or comment, "Oh, royalty, I didn't know you were a femboy," first of all...
Objection!
Your Honor...
Bro, you installed it and put it on. You are a femboy.
I'm not a femboy. I have a body of a preschooler Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't believe it. Why did you put on the girly ass outfit?
Second of all, this was my first time back on VRchat after a while. I needed to know what had changed, including the jiggle physics and clothing options, but apparently
This guy's coping!
most of those new things at the time were only available on female models.
He's coping
Hence
so
why most
hard.
people wore female avatars around that time. I'm not joking, by the way. Most good avatar features always released first on feminine models. The masculine
Okay.
ones always had to take some time to catch
Whatever
up.
you say.
And my final point, Your Honor.
After all,
Look, I have
I'm
3,000
only
hours
human.
on VRchat.
What? 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 3,000 hours? I don't even have that on Dota.
Oh no.
That's foul. That is foul. I have 2,500.
No.
Wait.
Wait.
Before you gear me up for execution, most of those hours are from COVID and some hours after COVID, where I'd have occasional phases where I'd play it again. Just like how you and your friends get a Minecraft server and grind the shit out of it for night and day. Then one day after you
That's
accidentally killed
valid.
your friend's dog, accidentally, started a civil war that left the crater deeper than the Mariana Trench, where your friend's house used to be.
And
Then
then
you
you
all just
bomb
stop
it.
playing and forget about the server altogether. Bit of a long anecdote, but it was sort of like that. All I did was make friends on this game and not even bully the degenerates. It was kind of just fun to observe them. They mostly resembled the chimpanzees at the zoo, and yes, they did throw their shit at each other. But I know so much about VRchat because I've been around for most of its phases. But now it's 2021 and COVID is still around, but people have learned to live with it. Taking a mask with you to places was normal, and having friends across the world is somewhat normal. People still got in VRchat, a lot more people were hooked since the spike of COVID, and a lot more people were buying expensive headsets and full body.
If you streamed or you were a VTuber in 2020 to 2021, you automatically gained an insane buff. You got an insane, like, baseline buff, man. Also, whoever fucking typed I have 2,500 in Dota and I'm below 1k MMR, suck my whole ass. I have 1,800 MMR.
Drinking and clubbing was thriving, but one more thing was increasing and becoming normal within the game. And that was ERP. So you find someone you really like in VRchat, you enjoy talking to them, you can't touch them, and you can't be intimate with them. Except for text.
What to do next? She keeps bouncing on you and gropes your butt. She inserts her caca inside and she starts bouncing you on her caca.
ERP, but that's just cringe. But you both play VRchat, and some people have what is called phantom sense, where their brain is so void of brain cells they actually feel when people touch them in VR.
That's not a thing. You can say it's a thing, it's not.
Joke. It was a bit mean, but that was a joke. Well, you either download or get someone to hook you up with an avatar that has DPS for ERP. What's DPS, you ask? It stands for
damage per second. DPS is damage per second.
Dynamic penetration system.
That is not DPS.
Where basically, there are shaders for an avatar that lets you interact with the shaders from another avatar. You see where I'm going here, and if not, we need to read a book. So people would get these avatars, go to a private world or private room, and you know, as the British say, shag.
I'm about to come up.
And they do that and they spend money on that? That's so cooked.
But in reality, they were just in the room stroking their meat. And this is ERP or erotic roleplay. But it's surprising to know that ERP has started seeping into
That's Roblox!
games like Roblox, which is borderline terrifying. Things like this was normal, and it was normal to show affection in VRchat public lobbies, with things like head pats while staring at a mirror. This brought about the creation.
I think it's different head patting someone to, like, riding their meat, okay? Like, Jesus, dude.
Of mirror dwellers, where people will sit in front of a virtual mirror for hours because one, they can see themselves and everyone around them, and they can also feel immersed if somebody starts getting touchy-feely with their head. If you join a world nowadays, you'll probably see a ton of them by the mirror anyway. Think I'm wrong, I probably got the speedrun world record for this. Right,
what?
Start the clock, start the clock, start the clock.
What? Oh shit! They're out the mirror!
Stop the clock. So ERP was normalized and even had assets to improve the experience.
Wait, that's so egotistical! Yeah! They're all sitting in front of a mirror fucking beating off to their own characters.
But as I've said multiple times, this gets much, much worse with the introduction of Discord servers and tools you could attach to your genitals to sync to VR.
You're joking. What?
VRchat. Personally, I love technology and how almost 40 years ago we thought we'd be in flying cars by now, but no, we can vibrate your dick when it touches your virtual girlfriend.
We've gotta nuke this planet, man. This can't be real.
Where and when did we stray from the path of God? But these things came in all shapes and sizes, and there were mods you could implement to not only sync them, but improve the quality of life in VRchat. Because the game was terrible when it came to optimization and overall quality. You even had mods that made the game look better, and so you could steal anyone's avatar in a lobby, or just search for it now. Oh, you worked for 500 hours and sold your left kidney working on a VRchat model? Don't give a fuck. Mine now. But it's safe to say that—
Wait, I thought they didn't implement that right from the start? That's horrible.
This game had evolved from apes to Planet of the Apes with expensive equipment and vibrating butt plugs. But remember when I mentioned Discord servers like a minute ago? You ready?
Discord kittens.
Because it gets much worse. There are Discord servers you can join for ERP events which were sponsored by the companies making the vibrating long distance tools, and you thought
that's smart though. For a business decision, that's smart.
Wearing a tail with a butt plug was bad. Private orgies were a thing, and events where you could meet someone for a one-night stand. In VRchat. These servers had a bio section where you could describe yourself and your kinks. So if your hobby was sticking tadpoles down your foreskin, you found the perfect place. But majority of the time, people posted their bios to find someone, you know, to love them, or just someone to spend time with. And there was even a channel dedicated to just meeting up and fucking. Guys, it's called Tinder.
Why?
If you can get past all the trust fund girls using it anyway. But some people posting their bios generally just wanted friends or someone to hang around with, which is perfectly understandable. COVID was a
Dude, this is so advanced. I had no idea.
lonely time for most of us. And even without COVID, people are allowed to be lonely and reach out for attention or friends. But admittedly, I have a guilty pleasure of looking at these bios sometimes, because every once in a while you'll find one of them so outlandish, because it makes you wonder what kind of insane person wrote this, or was it even a person? But I'm going to read some out for you. Obviously a disclaimer, there is a lot of sexual shit in this, and I'll try my best to make the person anonymous. Okay, on our first one, they're in their 30s, male and straight, and they're looking for a girl that is an extreme sub. Usually in the bios, this is just ordinary information. But the juicy part is when you get into the extra information section, because it goes downhill from here. I'm 6'2", have a nice big D as a plus. I'm good looking IRL, which I'm starting to doubt if you're on a VRchat dating fucking section in the bios. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm addicted to erotic stimulation.
What?
I love playing with my expensive, full-sized, big-titty silicone sex doll while you watch or become one of them. I need a slave who would like to be treated like one. That's just one bio. Believe me, these type of bios are rare. There are a lot of normal bios out there. But when you find one that's fucked up...
No, it's not normal, man. Normal in comparison, maybe. I can understand.
You find one that's fucked up. Okay, on to the last and final one, because reading this out makes me want to wash my mouth out with soap. This person is in their mid-20s, they're single and gender fluid. This person is looking for cuddles, friends with benefits, and general ERP. And they're mainly looking for someone that is feminine. Now on to the extra information part. They have a daddy kink and a mommy kink. They love big doms, but not edgy ones. And they like feet.
There it is. There it is. They love feet. Good start.
You know, that wasn't as bad as the first one. It was actually rather tame compared to the first one and the other ones in here. So there's your little crack sample. A lot of these people are just looking for someone to do this stuff with and genuinely find something they are missing in their life.
Right.
Like a sex doll. But what else could have happened in 2021 to make
VRchat gooning is for rich people. I'm convinced.
An even worse place to play in? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because back in 2019, the Oculus Quest came out. It was a standalone headset and it did not need a PC to help it. It had very limited cords except for when you needed to charge it, meaning you could probably run around with it on. So with all those benefits tied together, who would the player base for the Quest be? If you guess children, ding ding ding, you have more than one functioning brain cell. Parents would love to just strap this onto their kid's head and not have to worry about them for about 1 to 5 hours. But thank God, the VRchat and everything I've described wasn't available to them until it was in early 2021. So now you had children running around in the fiery landscape that was VRchat.
She licked me!
But it's okay, the VR headsets were that shit they couldn't load most avatars, that's why they had separate avatars called Quest avatars, so they couldn't see like naked avatars or anything. Until better versions of the Quest and avatar creators managed to get around that, so some Quest users could get around that now and wear avatars that are extremely optimized and
that would fuck you up. Imagine you're like an 8-year-old kid and you load up into VRchat and nobody's supervising you and yeah, you get licked by some fucking mommy. Yeah.
You can show their dick.
Who's got her fucking
along with
titties
some
out.
avatars that could only crash Quest users because they were majority of the time kids, so they're kind of annoying. But sometimes they would crash someone that was using a Quest that wasn't a kid or annoying, and there goes that person forever. But time for my daily phrase of it gets much, much worse. And once again, another disclaimer, I'm going to be talking about some terrible stuff. So you have fully fledged adults and children together, what would happen? Of course it would lead to a rise in stuff like grooming, because of the fact kids are naive and parents didn't know what their kids were doing on the headset. You also saw the rise of such things as VRchat families. So you normally had older people acting like they were parents and then younger people like brothers and sisters, which is great for kids that are neglected by their parents.
I know what he's trying to say, but I don't think it's a good idea. I'm just saying.
But it gets a lot more cringier when you have like an adult person that is no way related to this person and they are scolding them but it sounds kind of wholesome until you realise it's an opportunity for grooming. But once again, not all VRchat families were like this. I personally found the VRchat family thing kind of weird, especially since a complete stranger is acting like a father figure or mother figure. But once again, some kids were neglected from that. But onto the weird side of it all, you had such things as supposed grooming rings, and an infamous—
Oh, that's not supposed. It's absolutely a thing. If you have a place with zero, like, barriers, it's really easy to, like, get into it, it's absolutely a grooming ring.
example of this is Tech Gangster.
Yeah.
I did a previous video on him on a different channel. But essentially, he would groom children in public worlds in front of everyone, and even ERP with them in front of everyone.
And nobody did anything about it. Classic.
Do you think I'm fucking playing with you? Do you think I'm fucking playing with you? I'm up here.
Schizo.
Do you fucking hear what the fuck?
And the people he was grooming generally didn't see any problem with what he was doing. Some of them, even to this day, still defend him on TikTok, and he is still alive and well in VRchat. Because they haven't banned his IP and they can keep recreating his account. And some people in his inner circle are generally just as worse as him. They see no problem with what he's doing, they generally just ignore it sometimes. And VRchat moderation is all around terrible. But that is the summary of that and the extent I'm going to talk about that. There are other VRchat videos that go in more depth about this. Something else I wanted to talk about was VRchat TikTok.
This was so popular in 2020. For a fact. Super popular.
Where you had some generally amazing meme creations using the 3D space to their advantage. Even I created some TikToks at some point. Yeah, I know. I'm dying of cringe as well.
Snake bites hurt. Now listen to this. I pierced my dick.
Naked under Tate.
Where?
Completely lost.
Why you? Which one is the naked under Tate?
I was just branching out in content, okay? But my petty excuses to the side, you also had the bad side of it, which was VRchat's thirst traps, or just extremely sexualized TikToks made by people under the age of 18. Don't worry, I'm loading my 44 revolver as well. You're probably wondering, well, you know, it's a VRchat avatar, it's not actually them doing this, but it gives the opportunity for groomers to swoop in and, you know...
Grooming is so easy to do when you can perform things like this without even... Like, the funniest part is that the kids don't know any better and they think it's fine and they'll cope about it, and then like 10 years later they're like, yeah, I got groomed.
Comment on their shit or take advantage of them. But my
You
general
didn't do anything
hypocritical
to me,
opinion
I
is that,
didn't get
you know,
groomed.
TikTok is brain rot anyway. But that was VRchat from 2021 to 2023. It didn't really change much. And now VRchat is turning 10 years old. I generally had a lot of fun in this game, and have met so much amazing people in this game, but as with all things, as they get older and as they advance, it stops being the same game you started playing. VRchat has definitely changed, and has brought a lot of benefits and disadvantages with it, but the concept of just talking to people through the power of virtual reality is still there. And probably some point down the road, I'll probably go through a phase of getting back on again, but as of right now, that is VRchat.
Okay, femboy.
Funny thing I've discovered about YouTube is if I scream like, the like button goes sort of like purplish or something. Or if I do the same with subscribe, it goes purple as well. But I did spend a lot of time on this video, so either of them would be appreciated. Don't forget to leave a comment if you generally think my opinion is trash. I know some of the VRchat ERPs are going to be commenting, and all I can say to them is, go touch a physical female, you loser. But anyway, bye-bye.
I won't touch a female. Females are disgusting, they have cooties. Chat, VRchat is going to develop into something that we do not foresee yet.